Why most of the system get crashes and generate internal server errors? Because they are not having proper exception handling, which results into the system crashes and no proper messages in response. Today we will discuss few best practices for exception handling. Use try-catch block. Write your code within a try-catch block itself and declare variable properly as per the scope in case if it is required to be used inside the catch, so it will be accessible. Avoid using unnecessary try-catch block. Try not to write try-catch block in all the methods where you are not handling any kind of exception, only catching and throwing it. Instead of that, write the try-catch block in the calling method where you are actually handling the exception. Use multiple catch with the predefined exception type. Use predefined exception types in the catch block and handle exception accordingly along with the default exception type. This will help you to identify the type of exception and handle or perform execution accordingly. Log exception. Write logger to log the exception and store the exception in some central place where you are not required to log into the server in order to check the exception itself. Logging format should be consistent with the proper detailing which is required to identify the reason of the exception. Send alert on exception. Write some kind of alert which triggers when exception occurs and send it to the respective team so they can check it immediately. Alert should contain all necessary detail which is required for developer to identify the reason of exception. Rollback transaction on exception. Write try-catch block in database operation functions along with handling the exception. Roll back the database transaction itself, that is create, update, delete operations in order to avoid any kind of data loss and inconsistency in the data itself. Proper exception message. Once you handle the exception, now respond or throw a proper message. In case of web application, you have to display some kind of user-friendly message instead of displaying internal server error or any kind of technical application error message. In case of API call, respond with a proper message or exception so consumer will able to understand and handle it accordingly at his own side. These are the few best practices that can be used to implement proper exception handling and logging. Please like, subscribe and click on bell icon in order to get latest video updates.